Today we are talking about the Cybertruck. Is that right? All right, roll the video. No, we're not doing it. We're not talking about that. Nope. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Casey, and this week, we're gonna talk about the Tesla Cybertruck. With 145,000 pre-orders in the first 24 hours, this truck is here to stay and it just can't be ignored. Today, I'm gonna do a specs comparison against what we know so far about this new truck from Tesla and two very popular off-road trucks, the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon and the Ford Raptor. Before we get started, I do upload new videos every single week talking about off-road news, off-road parts, and sometimes we actually do take my Jeep out for a ride and shoot a vlog. So think about hitting that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. So at first glance, the new Cybertruck does look quite affordable when it comes to pricing, starting at just $39,000. But that's only for the two-wheel drive model. So today, I'm just gonna look at the two editions, or the two versions that come with all-wheel drive. So that will be starting at $49,000 all the way up to $69,000 if you want the triple motor edition. While $69,000 may seem like a steep price, once you start kitting out a Jeep Gladiator Rubicon or a Ford Raptor, you're gonna be in that price range really quick as well. So I think it is a pretty fair comparison of dollar for dollar off-road vehicles. Let's talk about the dimensions of this all-new electric vehicle from Tesla. How big is this thing and can we get it out off-roading? So the Cybertruck is 231 inches long compared to the Raptor, which is 231.9 inches long, and the Gladiator only 218 inches in length. As for width, the Cybertruck is 79.9 inches wide, which is a very important number, as the Raptor is 86 inches wide, and that requires it to have those amber lights on the roof. So it looks like the Cybertruck is going to be just narrow enough to not have to abide by that regulation. As for the Gladiator Rubicon, it's only 73.8 inches wide. All three trucks are fairly similar in height, with the Raptor only being slightly taller, and the Cybertruck and both the Gladiator are at 75 inches in total height, and the Raptor is 78.5 inches in height. Compared to a Gladiator though, it is much, much longer, and we already know the Gladiator is a lot longer than the Wrangler. So sitting next to a Jeep Wrangler, this new Cybertruck is gonna look very, very large. So if tight trails are your preference, like me, it's going to be a challenge to get this new EV truck down some of these narrower, tighter trails. However, with that armor plating, you might just be a bit more inclined to bash things out of your way. Next up, let's talk about the approach angle, departure angle, and actual clearance height of the vehicles, because these are very important on how capable a vehicle can be off-road. So the Tesla Cybertruck has a very nice approach angle of 35 degrees, which is better than the Raptor, which has only a 30-degree approach angle. But compared to the Jeep Gladiator with its 43.6 degree approach angle, that is the clear winner of the three trucks. When it comes to exiting an obstacle, you want to make sure the rear of your truck is not smacking it as your wheels come off it, or limiting you in your ability to climb very steep obstacles. The Cybertruck does have a nice 28 degrees of departure angle, which once again does outperform the Raptor with only 23 degrees. And it even outperforms the Gladiator, which only has 26 degrees of departure angle. All right, what about ground clearance? This is always a problem when off-roading and getting rocks or obstacles underneath your vehicle. Well, Tesla is claiming that the Cybertruck has 15 inches of ground clearance, which is huge. Compared to a Raptor's 11.5 or the Gladiator's 11.1 inch of ground clearance, this is quite a significant increase. So a really interesting design feature of an EV off-road vehicle, no axles. So there's gonna be no differential housings hanging down low, which is typically the lowest point in your Jeep or truck. The Cybertruck has a completely flat belly, and obviously with it having electric motors, it doesn't need a traditional drivetrain. So they've been able to have a completely flat belly underneath this, and if those are some sturdy panels or plating like it has on the side, you're gonna be able to just slide over any obstacle that may be coming between your tires. Now the big question, what about range? What about when you get out on the trail and you can't bring any extra fuel because, well, you're an electric vehicle. So the $69,000 Cybertruck model has the longest range. I guess it has the biggest batteries, and as well it has the triple motor configuration. And Tesla is saying that it will get up to 500 miles of range before it needs a charge. If we compare it to our gas-powered Raptor or Gladiator, well, I did some digging and tried to get some real-world range metrics on just how far these vehicles can travel on a full tank. And people were seeing between 450 and 550 miles on a tank with a Raptor, and about 350 to 450 miles on a tank with a Gladiator. Now that's not necessarily off-road driving, so we don't know how the EV is going to deplete its batteries when it's out on the trail. So what do I think of this? Well, I think it's going to be a while before you can go on any serious off-road trips, multi-day trips with a full electric vehicle, especially if you're venturing out of the high population areas where you're not going to have access to the Tesla superchargers or even being able to charge in a reasonable amount of time with your portable charger. Some of the trips that I've been on when we're out basing out of a small town, there's one gas station and we fill up every day. If we know we're going to be on a long run covering a lot of mileage in that day, we can bring extra cans with extra fuel. And then what if you want to go on a multi-day trip, maybe 2 or 3 nights overlanding? That's going to be a real problem with an electric vehicle for now until there's a solution for that. So I think if we can get the Cybertruck out off-roading, it's going to be good for those day trips, but you're going to have to return back somewhere where you have access to a charger where you can completely recharge your vehicle overnight before you set out on another day's adventures. But for now, if you're going to be covering a lot of range and you're going to be remote for quite a while, the gas-powered vehicles are going to have an advantage here. But 500 miles of range is still really good in a big truck like this. I do believe that that is going to drop off significantly if you're towing something as well or loading it down with a lot of cargo and increasing just how much it weighs. We'll have to see once these things hit the road just how well they do and how well they consume the battery capacity when off-roading, maybe rock crawling or going through some desert type off-roading. There's not a really good way to estimate this until we start seeing some real-world use of this truck. Just quickly before I move on to my last topic, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you leave a like, and don't forget I do upload new videos every single week, so think about hitting that subscribe button. I would love to have you join us here on the channel. Let's talk about aftermarket accessories, because to me, this is a huge part of owning an off-road vehicle. Customizing it to do what I want, how I want. Everybody's a little bit different, and we all know the Jeep market is not short on mods that you're able to do to these vehicles. Tesla showed a shot of the new Cybertruck being used to camp or overland with a huge pop-up tent over the bed area. Looks like a slide-out grill and camping accessories. So they do have some intention for this thing to be used off-road and going camping and taking it out on adventures. So I'm really interested to see what the aftermarket support is gonna be like for this truck. I mean, it doesn't even have bumpers or side view mirrors on it. So where can we mount our light bars? No, but like where can we mount a winch to the front of this? That is a super important piece of equipment for going out and hitting the trails. I'm really curious to how Tesla is going to respond to people modifying their vehicles and warranty issues and just how possible it will be to modify this. And that's what I think a lot of customers that want to get out off-roading with a truck want to be able to do to it. But with an 11,000 pound towing capacity on the top spec Cybertruck, maybe this will make a good tow rig in the future.